Hello, everyone, and welcome to Creative Business Development for Creative Arts Therapists. We are so excited to have you here today. Before we get started, I just want to remind you to grab some paper, get a pen, pencil, or even some art supplies so that you can do the activities in a way that's comfortable and fun for you. And then also, please write down any questions you have. You can always email us at the end of this if we don't answer what's coming up for you. So make sure you jot down questions, and we'll have all our contact information at the very end.
Great. Okay, so I'll get back on that there. So we're going to take a moment just to introduce ourselves. And this is me. I'm Annie Kirshenman, for those of you who don't know me. I am a board-certified dance and movement therapist. I'm also a board-certified coach, and my specialty designation is executive, corporate, business, and leadership. I'm also a business person, have been for the better part of 20 years now. Seems impossible, but there you go. And I have a special interest in business and marketing because I have found it challenging myself. My background is in the arts like yours is, and I don't have a business background, so it has been an on-the-fly learning curve for me. And I love sharing what I have learned, especially with other creative arts therapists. So that's me and Emery.
So here I am. I'm a registered board certified art therapist. I'm licensed in New York and also in Maryland. I supervise interns. I teach graduate students at the School of Visual Arts in Manhattan. And I just love mentoring professionals and working with people in a way that lets them reach their dreams. So I'm currently in the middle of founding my own business, Creatively Healing, in Brooklyn, New York.
Yay!
Yes, so very exciting, and is actually making me revamp a lot of my business knowledge and pull it back out again. So I'll be happy to share that as we go along. And then I have a special interest really in just helping others find their potential in a way that's creative and fun. One of the things I did to help do that was I wrote my book, The Art of Business.
And it's an
And
awesome book. Oh my gosh.
thank you, Annie. I had
Yeah.
fun doing it, and I learned a lot in doing that. So I think this will be a lot of fun because we can share all that knowledge with you, and hopefully you can do what you love in a way that's fun for you.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started with our first activity. And of course, we are mindful that you are watching this as a recorded session. Um, and what we would like to invite you to do at this point is to either close your eyes or in some way limit your field of vision by looking down or up or avoiding distractions if that's possible for you where you are for just a moment. And imagine that you are sitting in a circle with Emery and with me and with all of the people who have attended this webinar, either live or have seen it as a recording, and the creative arts therapists who are actually participating in the first creative business development for creative arts therapists right now. And just imagine that we are all sitting in a circle together and connecting through a visualization. So imagine that we are sitting in a circle and we are connecting, and you are connecting with us. And then imagine for a moment what you want to bring to your learning environment today. So what do you place in the circle or in the space that helps it to be a little more your space? So, and as we are imagining that today, I would put in the circle some sunshine because it's kind of cloudy and gray here today, and I'd like to brighten up the space that we're sharing during this webinar.
I think for me, I would love to put in some running water because it's been really warm here, and I just love to stick my feet in a nice cool stream or something like that. So running water for me.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. So then whatever you have put into the space, imagine that as we continue with our next activity.
So what I would like everyone to do is just take a moment and imagine what would it be like for you if all your business and practice dreams came true? What would it be like if it all just happened? If there wasn't anything in the way, there weren't any barriers, it all came true. How would that feel? How would that look? And what I'm going to do is ask you to, in a minute, pause the video and jot down some words or draw a picture of what that feels like or looks like for you. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video, do that, and then come back to us again. Okay, so I hope everyone had fun doing that. And think about now the flip side. What is standing in your way? What is it that is not allowing your dream to work right now? What barriers or what stresses, what's happening for you that is not allowing your dream to happen? And it can be just a word or two, or again, it can be an image, a picture, something that comes to mind. So what about your dream is not working at this very moment? And again, just pause the video, take a minute to do that, and then come back to us. So I hope you all found that useful and interesting. And one thing I want to say is a lot of people, when they do this activity, realize that what you're saying is something we've all experienced. Anyone going after their dream has struggled, has been worried about health insurance or different stressors, or how can I do this and have my job or leave my job, or just simple things like where do I find my clients? So anything you came up with, I can almost guarantee we've all gone through and shared.
Yeah, some other common themes for creative arts therapists are money. How do I finance this dream? The time to do it. Politics sometimes, depending upon, what your vision is. Space. Working space, especially for people in larger cities. So fear, anxiety, a lack of confidence. How do I put myself out there?
Yeah. And I know Annie and I have both experienced those things too. So we're right there with you.
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah.
So I really appreciate you all doing that. And then also just take a moment to picture what it would feel like if all those stresses, all those worries, all those barriers just melted away. How would that feel for you? And sort of keep that in mind as we move on to the next activity.
Yeah. Kind of yummy, that feeling, isn't it? When those barriers dissolve. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to move on now to our next activity. And this we call the ideal client activity, or another way to frame that is, with whom do I most want to work? Now, we have a lot of material between Emery and myself, and we chose this activity to share with you in the limited time that we have for this webinar. And we chose this activity because we feel it is so core. It is so key to the foundation of anything else that you do in your business and your practice, and all of the other tools that we have to offer, or all the other things you might do in your business, actually build on this particular activity. So knowing with whom you want to work is foundational for your business, because we tend to think we can work with anyone. And the fact is, Emery, we probably can, and most of us have. However, when it comes to working in your own business, identifying the people with whom you most want to work will provide you with some really important things. It will provide you with a sense of focus. It tends to provide you with more revenue and therefore more success. So let's get into that activity right now. Okay, so here are the questions that we are inviting you to consider. And because this is a recording, you would have an opportunity, if you wish, to pause the recording and take as much time as you want to play with these questions. And we do encourage you to play. And work, if you will, in this play with your modality. So dance therapists might want to move, art therapists might want to draw or paint, whatever your particular preferences and your specialty. Please feel free to play in that modality. And here are the questions. So if I, meaning you, could work with any type of individuals, who would I choose? Sky's the limit. You can work with anyone. What's your top choice? Second question, which type of clientele most excites me when I think about working with them? And why? Why is that exciting to you? Who is my ideal client? Is there a person or persona that exemplifies her or him? Do you get an image of someone or a persona when you think about your ideal client? Next question, really important. Which clients will bring me the most revenue? Certainly something we want to consider in running our own business, that we're at least working with some clients who who will bring us a good revenue. And the last question, what good do I want to bring to my clients and the world, and why? Okay, so again, feel free to pause the recording and consider your reflections on the answers to these questions, and then come back to us when you have had that opportunity. And so, presuming that we are welcoming you back from a paused recording, as a kind of example, I'd like to take just a moment to share with you one of my ideal client profiles, so you get more of a sense of what we are working with here and what we're talking about. So, and I did say one of my ideal client profiles because in my business I have several different client profiles that I work with. And again, everything that I do in my business, reaching out to people, sharing with them, attracting them to different services that I offer in my business is all built on the ideal client for that particular segment of my business. So I'm going to talk right now about my ideal client profile for this segment of my business, creative business development for creative arts therapists. Creative arts therapists are in my ideal client profile for this particular segment. In particular, creative arts therapists who are seeking to become more confident with business and marketing, who have a passion for what they do, and are in the dark as to how to put it out there. Perhaps this describes you. Really love what you do, really don't know how to get it out there and how to reach people. And who would rather be doing what they love than running a business. So this is a partial profile that gives you an idea of how we want to frame the way we look at some of the answers to these questions. So hopefully that activity gave you some insight and a clearer picture about the clients with whom you most want to be working. And I'm very quickly, before we move on to the next segment of the webinar, going to show you some visual representations of how these activities look in the course materials. So there you can see that's how it's laid out. The questions are there for you to play with, and of course when you're preparing for the course and sharing in the course, you'll get as much time as you want to take a look at that activity, and plenty of journal space for you to play, or you can use additional paper. You can put big paper up on the wall if you want to roll around on the floor. The more engaged, the more productive the activity, quite frankly. So okay, so that again, snapshot of how the materials are presented in the course materials. So let's go ahead and get to sharing a little bit about the course.
Yeah. And I want to just remind you at this point to jot down any questions you have as we go through some of the details, and feel free to email us afterwards if you don't get all the answers you need. All our contact info will be up at the end. So let's get into some of the details of what we'll be doing. So why we're excited about the course. So we're very excited about this because it's going to be wonderfully fun and just amazing for us to share what we know. And one reason I'm excited about this is because I had to stumble and fall, as I'm sure Annie did too, through trial after barrier. You just never knew what was coming up. And to now be able to share that experience to help others hopefully not have to go through the same struggles and to then support them when you come up with your own struggles is just wonderful for me to be able to do. So that's why I'm excited about this. The other piece I'm excited about is the fact that Annie and I have known each other for about 2 years or so now, and this is the first time we've really gotten to work together. And we both come from different backgrounds, but have so much to offer that overlaps and really works well together. So that's why I'm excited about this course.
Very exciting and really fun, which is part of what it's all about, having some fun. And that's one of the reasons that I'm excited about this course is that we did struggle, both Emery and I did, and it was not fun. And so one of the things that we are really devoted to is creating a fun space for creative arts therapists to explore some of these business and marketing details, and get their feet on the ground in a really productive way. It's easy to participate in this course. We do it by video conference. I guess this isn't a video conference, but it is a recording of a video conference. This is the platform that we use. So you can join from anywhere, either by computer or by phone. It's all about you. This is not a cookie cutter program. And so while there are some core pieces that we definitely want to include in terms of the content of the program, like the ideal client activity, we also tailor the program to your specific goals and needs and what you're wanting to create in your business. So, and it's designed, of course, to demystify business and marketing. Really, believe me, it can be done. And, and it's really, really fun and awesome to witness creative arts therapists' confidence grow. Okay, so yeah, and one other point, this program is an outgrowth of a program that I've been running for a number of years called Creative Client Development for Creative Arts Therapists. And in surveys, 86% of past participants rated that course as highly recommended, and the other 14% as recommended. So it's been a very popular program, and like you, Emery, I am very excited to be taking this growth step with you.
Definitely. And I can tell you that I took one of Annie's courses, and it was actually really amazing. And something I want to point out is while I went through it, my ideas around where I was focusing and my ideal clients shifted to a point where it made sense, but I hadn't been aware of before. So don't feel like you have to come to this course knowing what you want to do. Realize that it's all about exploring, and will help you find the right path for you.
Excellent. All right.
Okay. So let's talk a little about the structure. So we're limiting this to 10 participants so everyone can have enough time and individual attention. The course will begin when we have 10 or close to 10 people confirmed, and it's really first come, first serve. So sign up when you are sure you want to do this. It's going to be webinar format, as Annie said, so you can join from anywhere via computer or phone. The meeting days and times are decided by the group. So we send something out so that everyone can have input on what day and time works best for them, and wait until the group comes to a decision. So we'll do it around your schedule. There will be a total of 12 classes. 6 of them will be content courses where we'll all meet together, and 6 will be coaching sessions where we break off into small groups. And then there'll be 60 minutes each, and they'll last for approximately 6 months, give or take a little. You'll also have 2 individual sessions, one with me and one with Annie, and there'll be options all along the way to add more of those if you'd like them. And I'll talk a little bit more about those in a minute. So the format of the classes. The content classes will be everyone involved in the course. It's going to cover business and marketing educational units. We'll do goals check-ins so that you can keep us informed on what you want to be doing, and we can get feedback around that. We'll discuss the field work, that you've been actually working on. It'll be collaborative learning, so you'll be sharing and learning from others while they're learning from you. And of course, we'll always have time for question and answer at the end. The smaller groups will be coaching and mentoring groups, and those are going to focus more in depth on learning within a space that you can have more individualized attention. So it's going to be group coaching, maybe some role playing. It's basically designed to help you increase your confidence. And again, we'll always have time for question and answers afterwards. So what is included in all of this? We have the 12 60-minute classes and the 2 one-on-one sessions. You're going to have business and marketing study guides for each class, for each module. And the DISC Workplace Assessment and Business Needs Assessment are something Annie and I have brought out especially for this course. So Annie, would you like to talk a little about the DISC?
Sure. The DISC Workplace Assessment, for people who may not be familiar with that particular tool, is a behavioral style assessment, and it is geared particularly for the workplace or your business and career. So what it does is it measures what your behavioral preferences are in relationship to how you like to work. So, for example, some people are naturally big picture people. That's where they prefer to live. They like vision, they like ideas, they see the big picture. Contrasted with some people who have a natural preference for being more detail oriented. They like to dig in, like to weigh the pros and cons of things and really make sure that all of the details are properly attended to. They're not right or wrong. There's not one better preference or worse preference. All preferences are equally valid and needed. What this particular assessment does is help you to identify what your natural preferences are so that you can leverage those strengths in building your practice or building your business and find ways to work with the things that are not your forte. So if you happen to be a big picture person and don't care much for the details, we recognize that the details are important. And so we need to then find a way to make sure that those details are attended to in a proper manner in your business. So that's a little snapshot of the DISC.
Wonderful. And the business needs assessment is basically just a long checklist where you're going to let us know what you've thought of and what you haven't. It goes over everything from budgeting to mission statements to health insurance or just your personal preference around you like working alone. And none of it, like Annie said for the DISC, none of it's right or wrong. It's just what have you thought of, what haven't you, so that we can sort of decide, okay, what might you need to focus on, or what are areas that will be very important for you to listen to in the group processing and this, so that you have a nice full idea of where you're going, what you want to know, and it just makes you more a little stable and comfortable and happy with where you are. The neat thing is the 2 one-on-one sessions that we've talked about, you'll do the DISC Workplace Assessment and the Business Needs Assessment before the first class, and the one-on-one session with Annie will go over the DISC. The one-on-one session with me will go over the Business Needs Assessment. So before we even start the class, we'll go over all of this with you in a one-on-one fashion so you really understand what it's all about. Mm-hmm. So as we continue on, as additional materials are needed, if you have questions that we haven't been able to cover, we will find a way to get those to you. We'll probably have a place where we'll post them so you have access to anything we haven't been covering. That's really determined by the needs of the group. It might have to do with health insurance and other things which have come up in the recent group we're doing currently. Along with that, you'll have email access to the group members, to me, to Annie in between meetings. I'll also add that you will have a chance to have a buddy, someone else to support you and talk to as you go through the course. The neat thing is we have gotten all of this approved for 12 CE credits. It's approved through the American Dance Therapy Association, and the American Art Therapy Association has said that they accept those credits. So art therapists and dance therapists are great. Music therapists, we are following up on that, so we will know that information. Just email us and let us know you're interested.
And if you're a drama therapist or a poetry therapist, let us know. We can check it out, or you can help us to find out whether or not the ADTA CE credit certificate will count in your organization.
Wonderful.
Okay, so that's a snapshot of what's included. And of course, if you have questions, feel free to email us or contact us after you've watched the webinar information coming up.
Mhm.
Okay, so moving on to the investment rate. As you you can see from our very surprised looking guy here, love that picture. Uh, and you may know if you have explored one-on-one professional business development and coaching, it's on the pricey side. 500, anywhere from $500 to $3,000 or more per month for one-on-one coaching and consulting of this nature. In our experience, that is usually out of reach for most creative arts therapists, especially in a position of wanting to grow their own business or practice. So the investment rate for group coaching, of course, is very different, and that's one of the reasons we have designed this course in the way that we have. We're able to keep it much more cost effective for each participant because it is a group experience. So the investment for the course, for the group coaching course, is just $299 per month. And there's also an option to save $100 more if you want to submit your whole investment up front before the course starts. And there, as Emery pointed out earlier, there is optional one-on-one coaching sessions that can be added throughout the course for $79 each. Again, a significant reduction over what one-on-one coaching usually costs, coaching or mentoring. Simply because you're participating in the course as a group, and that's in addition to the one-on-ones that are included, one with me and one with Emery. So those are all included, and this refers to if you want to get with one of us for a one-on-one, you can add that throughout the course. Okay, so let's go to our last activity, which is about recapping your insights, really solidifying those as we begin to wrap up this recorded webinar. So here are our questions. What images did you get about the practice that you want, that you really want, your ideal practice? Yeah? And what did you learn about what's standing in your way? How are you energized by watching this webinar? And we'd also like to invite you to write down at least one thing that you're taking away from this class, at least one, recognizing you may be taking away many. And we'd also like to invite you to choose one action that you will take as a result of this class. What will you do to help to make your dream a reality? Very important, also identify why this is important to you. Why would it be important for you to take that action step? And then again, equally important, when will you do it? And we invite you to actually put it on your calendar. And even if it's a placeholder that you have to move because it didn't work out like you thought it was going to, at least it doesn't go away. Yeah. Creating an action is one thing, actually doing it is another animal. So this helps, that reminder, by actually placing it on your calendar. So if you'd like, go ahead and pause the video now so that you can consider your answers to these questions, and then come back and join us for the wrap-up.
Okay, so thank you for participating in that and all the other activities today. So next steps, take a moment, email me, emery.michael@gmail.com, and you can send me any questions you might have, but also you can tell me that you want to sign up for the course, which we would be thrilled to have you do that, and then I'm happy to guide you the rest of the way through that process. Or if you'd like more info, we do have all this information written down in a nice simple Word document, so just send me that saying that you give me permission to email that to you. Also, you have this recording, but if you would like copies of the slides, we're happy to provide those as well so that you don't have to look at them on the recording. If you'd like those separate, please let us know. So in any of those steps, if you aren't sure, if you have anything you're wondering about, email me, email Annie, and I believe both of our contact information is on the next page. So we'd be happy to hear from you.
Absolutely. Thank you for being with us in this recorded webinar. And I think I speak for both of us, Emery, when I say we're really looking forward to seeing you in the Creative Business Development for Creative Arts Therapists course sometime soon.
Yes. Have a wonderful time, and we hope to hear from you in the near future.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.